Hey you all, welcome back to Pearls of Eden. And the topic, we're not going to drag this out, Kamala Harris and the controversy about her kicking out 2 students from the rally that she had for saying Christ is King, Jesus is Lord. And also at Jamal Bryant's church, New Birth, another church member was put out for speaking against Kamala Harris, which, you know, it really led me to want to know and discover what are her faith roots. What does she truly believe? We know that her name, Kamala Devi, is named after a Hindu goddess, which says a lot, but you don't want to just judge people about their name, right? So I said, let me research what is her faith. And what I found was quite disturbing, yet not very shocking, is that she practices Christianity and Hinduism. So she's mixing her faith, which is concerning for believers. And it also explains a lot about the way she presented herself on CNN last night when Anderson Cooper asked her, well, you know, tell us more about your faith. And this is what she had to say. Take a listen.
Called him. I needed that spiritual kind of connection. I needed that advice. I needed a prayer. And there's a part of the scripture that talks about Esther and a time such as this, and that's what we talked about, and it was very comforting for me. And
do you pray every day?
I do pray every day. I do pray every day, sometimes twice a day. I grew up. So we grew up a little neighborhood church in Oakland, 23rd Avenue Church of God, and I was raised to believe in a loving God, to believe that your faith is a verb. You know, you live your faith, and that the way that one should do that is that your work and your life's work should be to think about how you can serve in a way that is uplifting other people, that is about caring for other people. And that guides a lot of how I think about my work and what is important.
Hey, do you think Donald Trump...
Now, you can see she's stumbling over her words. We have entered into word salad city. And we know anybody who really walks in their faith, they can gladly tell you why they believe what they believe. And then she begins to talk about Esther, because that was the verse that Jamal Bryant spoke over her at his church when he was praying over her. He was saying that she was to arise and shine for a time such as this. No, she would be what would we call it? She's the counterfeit, and she cannot step into those shoes, because we have been speaking about Esther since 2020 and what was on the rise, right? And so now here he is going to try to speak that verse over Kamala Harris, but she's a counterfeit. It's not going to happen. And so she tries to regurgitate that verse, but it means nothing to her. In fact, she said, there's a scripture about Esther, and I think arising, and it's like, ma'am, there's a whole book about Esther. But again, it just tells you that she's not really well read in the scriptures, and she's just regurgitating something that was put on the script for her, as she typically does. And that's not to insult Kamala Harris, but that is just to tell you the truth of what the matter is. You heard it. Any faith-filled believer can discern, like, what was that? So definitely out of her own mouth, when I read her article, and I will try to post it here somewhere, she said that she practices Christianity and Hinduism. And for me, that's a problem. For me, that means you're compromised, but also it answers the questions to me about so many things regarding Kamala Harris. So you all chew on that for a little bit. I would love to hear what you think in the comments. You all are great about having respectful conversations. I love that, because guess what? We will not always agree on everything, but what I love about the spirit of most people that show up here to Pearls of Eden, they have such dignity and they are respectful for the most part in how they engage. And I just want to say thank you. Thank you so much. All right, guys, I love you till I see you next time. Bye.